Most people believe body fat comes from eating too much. They blame sugar. They blame carbs. They blame lack of discipline. But what if your belly fat isn't coming from food at all? What if it's coming from stress? Every time you feel pressure, every deadline, every anxious thought, your body sends a powerful signal to your liver, a signal that says, prepare for danger. And when the liver hears danger, it doesn't burn energy. It stores it deep inside your body, around your organs, as fat. This is why so many people gain belly fat during stressful periods, even when they're eating the same, even when they're trying to be careful. And the scary part, this stress fat builds silently. You don't feel it happening. You don't notice it day by day, until one day your clothes fit tighter, your energy feels lower, and doctors start talking about fatty liver and metabolic problems. In this video, you'll discover how stress chemically tells your liver to turn energy into fat, why modern life keeps triggering this storage system nonstop, and what this hidden survival process is doing to your body right now. If you've ever struggled with stubborn belly fat during stressful times, hit the like button so more people can learn the real reason behind it. And subscribe to the channel if you want to understand how your body stores stress long before disease begins. Now, let's uncover how the liver quietly turns stress into fat. Now, let's slow down and look at what actually happens when you're stressed. Because for most people, stress doesn't feel like a biological process. It feels like thoughts, worry, pressure. But inside your body, stress triggers a powerful survival reaction. The moment your brain senses danger, real or emotional, it releases cortisol. Cortisol is the hormone that prepares your body to survive. It tells your heart to beat faster. It sharpens your senses. And most importantly, it tells your liver to release large amounts of energy into your bloodstream. This energy comes in the form of glucose, quick fuel meant to help you run, fight, or react fast. In nature, that energy would be burned immediately. You'd move, you'd escape, you'd survive. Then cortisol would drop, and everything would return to normal. But in modern life, there is no physical danger to burn that energy. There's just sitting, working, thinking, worrying. So the glucose stays in your blood again and again and again. Your body can't leave all that extra fuel floating around. It has to put it somewhere. This is where the liver steps in. The liver takes that excess energy and converts it into fat. Not just any fat. It stores much of it deep inside the abdomen, around your organs. This is called visceral fat, the body's emergency energy storage. So every stressful moment doesn't just feel exhausting. It quietly trains your body to store more and more fat. Even if your eating habits haven't changed, even if you're trying to be healthy, stress keeps pushing energy into storage mode. This is why belly fat often appears during hard life periods. New jobs, financial pressure, family stress, long work hours, poor sleep. It's not coincidence, it's biology. And here's what makes this even more frustrating for people. They try to fix it by eating less. They diet harder. They cut calories. But stress hormones keep telling the liver, store energy. So the body resists fat loss. It holds on tighter. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because survival mode is still active. The liver is simply following orders from the brain. Orders created by stress. Now, here's something even more fascinating about the liver and stress. The liver doesn't store fat randomly. It stores fat strategically. When the brain signals danger, the body assumes hard times are coming. Less food, more effort, more survival. So the liver switches into long-term storage mode, and fat becomes the safest form of energy. Not sugar, not quick fuel, fat. Because fat holds massive amounts of energy in a small space. It doesn't raise blood sugar. It doesn't destabilize the system. It's the perfect emergency reserve. So when stress keeps telling the body that life is uncertain, the liver responds by building bigger and bigger reserves. This is ancient survival biology. Thousands of years ago, this kept humans alive during famine and danger. But today, stress never ends. So storage never stops. And this is where the problem begins. Because the fat created under stress is not the soft fat you can pinch. It forms deep inside the abdomen, wrapped around the liver, the pancreas, the intestines, the heart. This is visceral fat, and visceral fat is biologically active. It doesn't just sit there. It releases inflammatory chemicals into the bloodstream. It interferes with hormones. It makes insulin work worse. It increases stress signals back to the brain. So the more stress fat you store, the more stressed your body becomes, and the more stressed your body becomes, the more fat the liver keeps storing. A vicious cycle. Stress creates fat. Fat creates inflammation. Inflammation increases stress signals, and the loop feeds itself. This is why visceral fat is so strongly linked to fatty liver disease, type 2 diabetes, heart problems, chronic fatigue, brain fog, and metabolic disorders. Not because people are lazy, not because they lack discipline, but because their bodies are stuck in survival storage mode and the liver is doing exactly what biology trained it to do: protect you, prepare you, store energy for danger. The tragedy is, modern life keeps pressing the danger button non-stop, so the liver never gets the signal that it's safe to release those reserves. And here's what makes stress fat so dangerous. Most people never feel it forming. There's no pain, no sudden change, no clear warning. Visceral fat grows quietly, deep inside the body, around organs you can't see, around systems that keep you alive. This is why someone can look not too overweight, yet still carry high levels of dangerous internal fat. Doctors often discover it by accident, during scans, blood tests, routine checkups, and suddenly they hear words like fatty liver, insulin resistance, metabolic syndrome, inflammation markers rising, heart risk increasing. To many people, it feels like it came out of nowhere. But biologically, it didn't. It was building slowly during months of stress, years of pressure, long periods of emergency mode. Every stressful moment added a tiny layer. Every cortisol surge told the liver to store more. And because visceral fat hides deep inside, the body gave very few obvious signals, just subtle ones: feeling tired more often, brain fog becoming normal, weight slowly creeping at the waist, cravings getting stronger, sleep becoming lighter. These were the whispers, not the disaster. The disaster only appears when the system can no longer compensate. This is why stress-related fat and liver problems seem sudden. But they are never sudden. They are the result of long-term survival biology doing its job too well. And here's the hardest truth. You cannot fully fix stress fat with dieting alone. You can eat less, exercise more, count calories. But if stress hormones stay high, the liver still receives the same message: store energy, danger is coming. So the body fights fat loss. It holds on tighter. It slows metabolism. It protects its reserves. This is why so many people feel stuck. They try harder, but results barely move, because biology is still in survival mode. Fat is not the enemy. It's the body's emergency savings account. And as long as stress keeps signaling danger, that account stays locked. Now, here's the part most people never get taught. The liver doesn't hold on to fat forever. It only holds it while the body believes danger is present. The moment stress signals begin to calm, the biology begins to shift. Cortisol slowly drops. Energy stops flooding the bloodstream. Insulin levels stabilize. And the liver receives a new message: not danger, safety. And when the body feels safe, it stops storing. It starts releasing. Visceral fat is broken down. Energy is used again. Inflammation begins to settle. Hormones slowly rebalance. The system moves out of survival mode. This is why some people notice belly fat suddenly decrease during calmer periods of life. Not because they ate perfectly, not because they exercised harder, but because stress finally eased. The body finally felt secure enough to unlock its emergency reserves. This is also why extreme dieting during stressful times often backfires. The body feels even more threatened, so it stores even more aggressively. Less food plus high stress equals stronger survival signals. And stronger survival signals mean tighter fat storage. Biology always protects first, releases later. only when safety returns. The liver is not stubborn. It is obedient. It follows the messages sent by the brain. When the brain senses danger, the liver stores. When the brain senses calm, the liver releases. This simple shift explains so much of what people struggle with around belly fat and fatty liver. It was never just about food. It was never just about willpower. It was about the body being trapped in a long-term survival state. And the moment that state begins to change, the body changes with it. This is the powerful truth behind stress fat. Your body isn't working against you. It has been working to protect you all along. So if there's one thing to remember from today's video, it's this. Your belly fat was never just about food. Your fatty liver was never just about calories. Much of it began as a survival response to stress. Your brain sensed pressure. Your body prepared for danger. And your liver stored energy to keep you alive. Every stressful moment wasn't a failure. It was your body trying to protect you. But survival mode was never meant to last forever. When stress becomes constant, storage becomes constant too. And that's when health slowly starts to suffer. The powerful truth is that the liver is one of the most resilient organs in the body. It can release stored fat. It can heal. It can recover. When the body finally receives the signal that it is safe again, when stress calms, when energy becomes steady, when survival mode switches off, this is why understanding stress biology changes everything. It takes the blame away from you and puts the focus where it belongs, on the signals driving your body. Your body was never broken. It was adapting. Learning how it works is the first step toward restoring balance. If today's video helped you see belly fat and fatty liver in a completely new way, give it a like so more people can learn the real biological story behind it. And subscribe to the channel if you want to keep decoding how the body quietly warns us. Before disease develops, before burnout hits, before damage becomes serious. In the next video, we'll uncover why visceral fat appears first and how the body's early warning phase often gets ignored. Your body has always been on your side. Now you're finally learning how to listen.